She was just doing her job, taking orders, smiling politely, trying to survive another long shift at the cafe. But that day, something felt different. The man at table 4 wouldn't leave her alone. His words grew louder, his eyes colder. No one said a word. No one stepped in, until one voice cut through the tension like a blade. That's enough. What happened next would change her life and his. Emily hadn't planned to pick up that extra shift, but Rent didn't care about her sore feet or unfinished coursework. The cafe on 5th and Maple was quiet in the mornings, but the afternoon rush was always brutal, especially Fridays. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, adjusted her apron, and forced a smile as the door chimed. Customers trickled in like usual office workers, students, a few regulars. By 4 p.m., she had memorized 4 complicated orders, cleaned up 2 spills, and handled a machine that kept spitting out receipts like confetti. That's when he walked in. The man in the wrinkled blazer and oversized sunglasses. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. His grin was forced, but his eyes scanned the room with predatory ease. "Hey, sweetheart," he said as she approached, eyes locked on her name tag. "Emily. Pretty name. Suits you." She gave a courteous smile, nodded, and asked for his order. "Surprise me," he said with a wink, leaning far too close over the counter. She stepped back, trying to keep things professional. He kept talking. "Bet you got a boyfriend, huh? Someone lucky. But I bet he doesn't treat you like you deserve." Emily chuckled awkwardly and stepped away to make his drink, hoping that'd be the end of it. But he didn't stop. When she handed him the latte, he brushed her hand on purpose. "Oops. Sorry, darling." She moved on quickly, forcing herself to focus on the next customer. But the man didn't leave. He sat at the table closest to the counter, watching her. Every time she turned around, his eyes were on her. 10 minutes later, he called her back over with a fake complaint about his drink being too hot. She remade it without a word. When she returned, he said loud enough for a few people to hear, "Maybe next time you bring it," with a smile. "That one looks fake." A few customers looked up, then looked away. No one intervened. Emily's stomach twisted. She'd dealt with uncomfortable customers before, too many times to count. But this felt worse. Like this man didn't just want coffee. He wanted power, control, and he knew she couldn't do much about it. He started raising his voice. "What's a girl like you doing here anyway? Shouldn't you be in college? Or modeling? Not slinging drinks to losers?" His words stung. She felt the burn of humiliation on her cheeks, the hot sting of unshed tears. Still, no one said a word, until someone did. A man near the back, quiet, broad-shouldered, dressed in a plain black hoodie, stood up. He walked toward the counter slowly, with purpose. Everyone turned. He reached the harasser's table, looked him dead in the eyes, and said in a firm, unwavering voice, "That's enough." Silence fell over the cafe. The man in sunglasses scoffed. "Who the hell are you?" he barked. "The hero of the day." The man didn't flinch. "You've made your point. Now finish your coffee and leave. Or I'll call the cops for harassment. I've recorded the whole thing." The harasser's smirk faltered. His bravado cracked. He glanced around and realized everyone was watching now. Phones out, eyes on him. He cursed under his breath, stood up, and stormed out, slamming the door behind him. The quiet man turned to Emily. "Are you okay?" She nodded, blinking back tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "Seriously," he smiled softly. "No one should have to deal with that. Especially not alone." He sat back down, sipping his coffee like nothing had happened. Emily wanted to say more, but customers were still waiting. Still, the shift felt lighter. For the first time that day, she felt seen, protected, not invisible. When her shift ended, she stepped outside to find him leaning against the wall, waiting. "I didn't want to leave without making sure you were all right," he said. She smiled, genuinely this time. "I'm okay now. Because of you." They walked for a bit, talking. She learned his name was Ryan, a teacher at a local school. He wasn't trying to impress her, just being kind, human. As they reached the corner, he hesitated. "Would it be weird if I asked to see you again?" Her smile widened. Not weird at all. That night, Emily went home feeling stronger than she had in weeks. One act of courage. One voice that chose not to stay silent. It reminded her that kindness was powerful, that sometimes the smallest act of bravery could become the biggest turning point in someone's life. He didn't wear a cape. He didn't throw punches. But in that small cafe, he became a hero. Just by saying, "That's enough." Sometimes, all it takes to change a life is to stand up when no one else will. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of the power of decency, hit that subscribe button, share with someone who needs to hear this, and remember, kindness is louder than cruelty. Want more heart-touching stories like this? Subscribe now and never miss the ones that restore your faith in humanity. Turn on notifications so you're first to see our next powerful upload.